A couple years ago, I took this test, a test to see if I had Asperger's. And the reason I took it was because all of my friends kept making fun of me for having Asperger's. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. Audio is not the best on it, but it's a pretty funny video.
So, based on this, what I'm hearing is I'm not autistic, I'm socially retarded.
But here's the thing. I didn't have Asperger's. I beat the allegations. I'm autism free, baby. But now there's new allegations. Now the new allegations is I can't stay focused, and I kind of get where people are coming from. Every time I go to work, I don't get anything done because and then also I haven't uploaded a YouTube video in a month because I can't focus on recording or editing. But I think it's a bunch of hoopla. I think it's just, I think people are just trying to scare me into taking meds that will trick my brain and scramble it. Now, for those of you who don't know what ADHD is, I'm going to go ahead and read out the definition now. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD, is one of the most common mental disorders affecting children. Symptoms of ADHD include inattention, not being able to keep focus, hyperactivity, excess movement that is not fitting to the setting, and impulsivity. Ooh. Those all kind of describe me. To figure out if I actually have ADHD or not, what I'm going to do here is take an ADHD test. So let's jump right into it. No distractions. How often do you have trouble wrapping up the final details of a project once challenging parts have been done? Oh, once the challenging parts have been done? Never really. Like, for example, not to bore you guys with my job, but if I just have to send one last email and the project's done, just do it real quick. I don't know. How often do you have difficulty getting things in order when you have a task that requires organization? I mean, it kind of depends. If it's like technology-wise, I'm pretty organized. Like, I know how to organize my files. But if we're talking like clean my room, not to expose myself here, but how often do you have problems remembering appointments or obligations? Now, my mom's gonna be pissed because we've gotten in a lot of fights about this because I used to forget to go to appointments and stuff. And she may disagree, but I think I've gotten way better at it. And I actually put things in my calendar now. Little funny story. My Aunt Lisa, I love her, but she can never remember any appointments or any obligations she has. So she even told my mom that she puts in the calendar and sets 3 reminders. Now, in her defense, she's like an old lady and she's trying to get her master's degree, so she's kind of scatterbrained, but still, she might have ADHD, long story short is what I'm saying. When you have tasks that require a lot of thought, how often do you avoid or delay getting started? Sometimes, but I feel like that's a lot of people. How often do you squirm with your hands, feet, when you have to sit down for a long time? I don't know if everyone does this, but I'm a leg tapper. My leg's doing this anytime I'm sitting down. But I heard it burns calories, you know what I mean? That's why I'm going to be a skinny queen, because I have ADHD. How often do you feel overly active and compelled to do things like you were driven by a motor? I don't know. I get determined to do things. Overly active and compelled to do things. Like if I need to lock in, I guess, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to say pretty often.
Ask me if I do this every day, I said often.
How often do you make careless mistakes when you have to work on a boring, difficult project? Very often. How often do you have difficulty keeping your attention when you're doing boring, repetitive work? Nah, kind of rarely, honestly. I hate doing boring, repetitive work. It's like the worst thing in the world. It's the worst. Fuck. How often do you have difficulty concentrating on what people say to you, even when they are speaking directly to you? If they're speaking directly to me, rarely. I'm actually a good active listener, and people probably don't believe this watching this because I'm a yapper, but I listen. I do. So if you have anything to say, comment it down below, and I'll listen with my eyes. You see that farming engagement? That was freaking awesome, dude. Drop a like. How often do you misplace or have difficulty finding things at home or work? Never. How often are you distracted by activity and noise around you? Sometimes. It depends. If the conversation's good, I'm going to be over there. But if it's something I just don't really care about, it's fine. It's whatever. How often do you leave your seat in meetings or other situations in which you are expected to remain seated? No, I'm actually pretty good about that. I do meetings wow, I just realized how boring my job is. I do meetings at work, and if it's an online meeting, I'll sit there and listen the whole time until it's over and then get up and walk around. I mean, they're only an hour long, but like, for example, the other day, this is a long story for a super short point. I spent the night at my friend's house, and then I put my socks in the bed, turned back around. The socks were gone, so I looked all over for them. I was like, maybe I just forgot to bring socks. Sure enough, I was at work and I got a picture. Put the picture up, editor. Yeah, there's a picture of this dog laying next to the socks. The dog picked up the socks and they brought it to their room and they put it on the bed. So yeah, I had to go to work with dirty socks. That was kind of embarrassing. Anyway, I was in a meeting and my friend texted me and said, "Hey, I'm here and I have your socks if you need them." I didn't even leave the meeting to get my socks. She had to wait 5 whole minutes before I went and grabbed those socks. Holy shit, I just went like way off tangent. I got distracted. All right, I'm just glad this thing's not timed. How often do you feel restless or fidgety? How often do you have difficulty unwinding and relaxing when you have time to yourself? Oh, pretty often actually. Well, sometimes. I'm better about it now that I'm done with school. When I was in school, I always felt like I had to be doing something, but I think that's because I was adjusting from having homework or having something to just nothing. So I'll say sometimes. How often do you find yourself talking too much in social situations when you're in social situations? This is a tough one. I am a yapper. That's why I have this YouTube channel, The Yap. But like I talk a lot, but I don't think it like I have good social cues. Like people tend to like to talk to me. I wouldn't say I ever talk too much, but I talk a lot. You know what? I'm gonna say often, because I might just be biased because I think I'm funny. I love listening to myself talk. When you're in conversations, how often do you find yourself finishing sentences of the people you're talking to before they can finish it themselves? Never, actually. Well, rarely. If it's my friends, for example, Noah, I'll cut him off all the time, but that's just because I'm tight with him. If it's somebody I'm casual with, like an acquaintance, coworker, aunt, uncle, I'll usually let them finish. How often do you have difficulty waiting your turn in situations when taking a turn is required? Never, actually. Typically pretty patient, actually. How often do you interrupt others when they are busy? Often. Are you taking this test for yourself or someone else? Myself. Age range 18 to 24. Oh, if I waited one more year, I could have been in the 30-year-old category. Am I non-binary, male or female? I'm actually gonna take a test after this to see what gender I'm in. Household income, like what do I make or do my parents make, or what do we all make together? That's kind of personal. I'm cutting that out. Okay, try to get me to put my address in there and dox myself. Yeah, that's bullshit. Which of the following populations describes you? Select all that matters. Veteran, nope. Caregiver of someone living with emotional, physical illness, nope. LGBTQ, nope. Student, not anymore, bitches. I graduated. Cue Kanye West, please. Thank you.
No, I already graduated, and you could live through anything if magic made it.
Guys, I might have Crohn's. I'm getting a colonoscopy later or next month. Drop a like if you want to see the colonoscopy live. I'll stream it. I haven't been diagnosed yet, so I can't select that actually. View results. Unlikely. About to send a link to my mom, my dad, my aunt, my uncle, my niece. Fuck. About my score. Let's read this. The first 6 questions are the strongest indications of risk for ADHD. Therefore, your overall score is out of 6. A score of 4 or above indicates symptoms consist of ADHD, but it is not a diagnosis because you need a doctor to diagnose. That's because my mom's a nurse. I know that. Your results indicate that you are expecting none or very few signs of ADHD. These results are not meant to be a diagnosis. You can meet with your doctor or therapist to get a diagnosis and or access therapy or medications. Sharing these results with someone you trust can be a great place to start. Addiction. What keeps me suck? That was a really short video. Take another mental health test. I have looked forward with enjoyment to things as much as I ever did. I have blamed myself unnecessarily when things went wrong. Yeah, sometimes I think. I have been anxious or worried for no good reason. Hardly ever. Guys, I don't think I have postpartum depression. Not sure what that is, but I mean, I do want to be a parent one day, so I would like to say I am expecting.